Because Doane Academy used to be St. Mary's Hall and was an all-women's school, one of the earliest versions of that, founded way back in 1837. So we thought it'd be really cool to celebrate women's history by using and having our alumna come back and help us celebrate it. So take it away, Emily.
All right. Hopefully everyone can hear me, so we'll get to the mystery later. But today I will be reading Mae Among the Stars to everyone here. So we'll hop right into it. And this was written by Roda Ahmed and then illustrated by Stasia Barrington. So you can see some pretty illustrations here. And let me know if I have to remove my background, and I can do that so you can see all the wonderful illustrations as well, because this is a very pretty book. All right, so we'll get started. Little Mae was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little Mae was different. So you can see that she's daydreaming away under a tree. One day, Mae was working on an assignment for school about what she wanted to be when she grew up. What will you tell them, Mae? I will tell them I want to see Earth. You can see her working on her assignment just like everyone does at home on the kitchen table. This is Earth, Mae, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, the mountains. We live on Earth. I know, but I want to see Earth from out there. That's an amazing plan, little Mae. Then you have to become an astronaut. That way you can see Earth from space. Astronaut, do you think I could do that? You can see them looking at the Earth from their front porch. All right, so she just asked, astronaut, do you think I could do that? Of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. Now you can see it a little better. We're talking to her mom. Mae asked her mom to take her to the library, so she searched for books about space and astronauts. After dinner, Mae drew pictures of space, and she even made her own astronaut costume out of old orange curtains and cardboard boxes. Later, she asked her dad, "But how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible." You will find your way, Mae, because if you dream it, believe in it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. Now you can see her in her little astronaut costume. But space is so far away. It's closer than you think, little Mae, and you may get there sooner than you think. And they have a telescope, and they're looking out at the stars. That's right. Mae had a happy dream. That night, Mae had a happy dream. She was dancing in space, surrounded by billions of sparkling stars. Below her, she could see the Earth floating and turning like a shining crystal ball. You can see her dreaming. The next morning, Mae told her parents about her dream. She wanted to tell everyone, and every time she talked about it, her eyes would light up. You can see her talking to everyone, even her cat, about her dream. In the classroom, Miss Bell told everyone to stand in a line on the rug. Today we are going to share our dreams about the future. What do you want to be, and what do you want to do when you grow up? Who wants to go first? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a teacher, football player. I want to be a mom. I want to go to space and be an astronaut. You can see little Mae at the end talking about how she wants to be an astronaut. All the kids started laughing. Miss Bell asked, "Mae, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Nursing would be a good profession for someone like you." I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut. You can see little Mae still thinking about being an astronaut. Mae felt disappointed. On her way home from school, Mae was quiet. She looked out the car window. Her world turned blue and cold. Nothing was the way it used to be. At home, Mae started crying. Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut. What a silly thing to say, said her mother. She told me I should be a nurse instead, said Mae. Her mom wiped away her tears. My dear Mae, I hope you don't believe her. Of course I believe her. She's my teacher. I'm sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dreams, Mae, and go to space. And see her talking to her mom. Thank you, Mom. I promise I will get to space. Or I promise when I get to space, I will wave to you and Dad from the spaceship. Her mom took her hand and they started dancing. You must always repeat to yourself, if I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and if I work hard for it, anything is possible. See them dancing? Mae went on dreaming, believing, and working really hard. And guess what? She went to space and waved to her mom and dad on Earth. There you can see Mae in her spacesuit. And that's the end of the story, but there's a really nice page here about Dr. Mae Jemison, so I'll read that to you as well. Mae Carol Jemison was born October 17th, 1956 in Decatur, Alabama. Mae always loved science and loved being outside looking up at the stars, knowing that one day she would travel to space. Mae is highly educated. She graduated from Morgan Park High School in 1973, and at the incredible age of 16, she enrolled in Stanford University, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering in 1977. After Mae got her MD in 1981 from Cornell Medical College, she briefly worked as a general practitioner before leaving her work to go to the Peace Corps as a medical officer in Liberia and Sierra Leone. When she returned home, Mae decided to follow her childhood dream of going to space, and she accomplished many firsts. She applied to NASA's astronaut training program on June 4th, 1987, and was accepted. She became the first African-American female astronaut, and on September 12th, 1992, Mae's dream finally came true when she traveled to space on the Shuttle Endeavour mission STS-47. It was then that Mae officially became the first African-American woman in space. Mae left NASA in 1993 and became the first real astronaut to act on an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Today, she heads up the Jemison Group and the Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence. Mae speaks fluent Russian, Japanese, and Swahili. And that's it. That's our book.
All right, friends, let's give Miss Emily a round of applause. Good job. Okay, so before I reveal the mystery of who Emily really is to us here in our Doane community, let's do some great inferring and let's make a prediction. Who do you think Emily might be to us, and who might she be to the world? What is it that you think Miss Emily might be doing in her life? What do you think? Before I see fourth grade here, anyone in fourth grade want to take a guess? Okay.
Yeah.
We're guessing astronaut overwhelmingly.
Oh.
Or astronomer.
Oh. Overwhelming guess for astronaut or astronomer. Okay, well, it's time to reveal. Everybody do a drum roll, either on your knees or on your desk or wherever you are. Emily. Okay, here you go. Emily graduated from Doane Academy in 2013 and went to Worcester Polytechnic Institute, where she graduated in 2017 with a bachelor degree in aerospace engineering. The summer of 2017, Emily started working at NASA Johnson Space Center. Miss Emily, you work for NASA? Training to be, oh, it couldn't be, a Spartan flight controller? Emily's group is responsible for the International Space Station power and the external control systems. She currently has 2 backroom, I'm not sure what that means, certifications, and is working on her front room certification now. So, Miss Emily, you work at NASA? What? This is amazing. I hope
I do. I even wore my NASA shirt today.
Well, how great is that? Let's see. Do we have any questions? I mean, aerospace engineering. You work at NASA and you're a Spartan flight controller? What? You know who our mascot is, right, Emily?
Oh, I remember Sparty, our Spartan mascot, very well.
Okay, so who has some questions? Oh, I know, Aiden. What? I know. Okay, so first grade definitely has some questions. Let's hear a great question from first grade for Emily.
Okay, Liliana, ask a good question.
Did you ever see Mae Jemison?
So I haven't seen Mae Jemison at work yet, but I've seen a lot of other astronauts. So I have got to meet Victor Glover, who's currently on the International Space Station. So he's working up in space right now. I've met Peggy Whitson, who is the most time in space for NASA, or at least the woman with the most time in space. She might have been eclipsed now, but I've got to meet her before, and I've got to meet quite a few of our active astronauts.
How about fourth grade? Fourth grade looks like they have some questions.
Is your job difficult?
So some days my job can be very difficult. So as a flight controller, I'm responsible on the ground for our systems on the International Space Station. And actually, I have a little model of the International Space Station right here. So those big solar arrays, that's what I'm responsible for. So my job can be difficult, especially if something breaks on station, because something all the way up in space we have to fix from the ground down here.
Okay, let's go to Aiden at home. Aiden has a question.
How did you get interested in this in the first place? Did you get interested as a kid at first and then started building it up and then you actually got to do it? Or was it just like something happened and it made you want to think about doing it?
So I didn't actually decide I wanted to go into engineering until I was in high school. And it's because of Mr. Russell. I joined the engineering club at Doane, and I really loved engineering. I really loved math and science. So it kind of took me down the career path of wanting to become an aerospace engineer, and just follow what you really like to do, because I have a ton of fun in my job most days. Some days it can be a little difficult, but most of the time I think what I do is pretty cool.
I don't know if this is going to show, but here's a picture of the hovercraft that Miss Emily made her senior year of high school for our engineering club.
Oh, I had so much fun building hovercrafts and trebuchets and cardboard boats. It definitely inspired me with what I wanted to do with my career and pick up aerospace engineering.
Maybe, I don't know if Mr. Russell has a question.
What about Dr. Mae Jemison was ultimately why you settled on her as the person you wanted to speak to as a part of Women's History Month?
So I think Dr. Mae Jemison is very interesting. She has a very cool story of how she got to be an astronaut, and a lot of them really do. Plus, she accomplished so many of those firsts that we talk about, and she just really paved the way for a bunch of women and a bunch of African Americans to really start working at NASA and helping either on the ground or in space. So she has a very cool story. I think it's fascinating that she knows 3 other languages aside from English. A lot of our astronauts know Russian now, but she knows not only Russian, but Swahili and Japanese. I think that's very cool.
Okay, maybe we can end with final question or thoughts from Mr. Sanderson.
Emily, do you think there either has been or is life on Mars?
That's a good question. I don't know. We haven't seen any little green men running around there. And Mars right now is the only planet that's entirely inhabited by robots. That's all that's up there. But there was water on Mars, so who knows? Maybe we'll discover something else as we're digging around up there. I know I just watched the last rover that landed with my NASA colleagues that are out in California. They were all really excited. So who knows what we'll discover as we keep moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you, Emily. And Mrs. McDonough, thank you. And Mr. Russell, the two of you in particular, for organizing this. And Emily, thank you most of all for sharing all your thoughts and expertise and background and stories and reading ability with our students. We really appreciate it. Kate or Jen, do you want to send us off, or?
Sure will. Okay, thank you, friends, for joining us. And just so you know, we do have a copy in the library of Mae Among the Stars. So thank you, friends, for joining us. We'll see you next time for another guest mystery reader.